Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a first impression and demo review kind of thing on the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation and Aquacealer. So yeah, I'm just trying it on my face for the first time today and thought I would do a first impression thing and let you guys know, how it is. So if you guys are interested to see that review and demo, then please keep on watching. So before we get into the demo and first impression of these two products, I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit more about it. The first one I have is the Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. It's a broad spectrum SPF 15 sunscreen as well. I actually ordered both of these off the Tarte website, and like during the sale, this one was 165 ringgit on the website, but I got it on 35% off, I think, during the sale thing they had. So this is how the foundation looks. It comes in a little glass bottle with a dropper thing here. I think the packaging is super cute. So you just push this button here to grab some product, and you can see the consistency is quite light, like a water-based foundation, because it is, and super fun to dispense. So what it says is it helps prevent sunburn if used as directed with other sun products. It decreases the risk of skin cancer and early skin aging caused by the sun. So I think it's more of like a protective sunscreen type thing as well as a foundation, which is really cool. So next I got the concealer as well. I actually wanted to get the Shape Tape concealer that everybody loves, but no surprise, it was sold out. So I just grabbed this one as well, Rainforest of the Sea Aquacealer. So this is a water-based concealer as well. What I love about this is the applicator is a giant doe foot stubby little wand thing, which is really cool to like highlight and conceal all over your face. I got the foundation in the shade Tan Zen, and I got the concealer in medium tan, I think, medium sand. So Tan Sand and medium sand. That's because I do like my concealers to be a bit lighter, a couple of shades lighter than my foundation to highlight and brighten under my eyes. So yeah, I really actually love these two together. I feel like the foundation is a medium to full coverage. It is buildable. You can get a full coverage out of it, but it doesn't feel heavy or thick on your face. It's quite lightweight. I have it on now. This is me after the demo, which you'll see in a bit. So yeah, let's move on to the first impression so you guys can see how it applies and stuff like that. So first, I'm just going to prime my face using the Laura Mercier foundation primer. So I'm just going to do a little bit of color correcting using this Matte Studio Correct and Conceal just under my eyes, because in comparing this foundation, I want to see how it would look when I usually, stick to my usual makeup routine. Okay, so now time to try the actual foundation. First, I'm going to go in with the foundation, which is this one right here. I love the giant dropper. How am I going to do this? I'm going to do what I usually do and do half face blended in with the beauty blender and half face with a brush. Yeah, I'm just going to drop this on half of my face first. It is a really thin consistency, but it's not running too badly. Okay, so first I'm going to go ahead and blend this in on this side. I'm going to use my beauty blender and just bounce it in. Okay, so far I feel like this is very sheer coverage, but I am kind of liking it. The color I feel like is kind of spot on, but in saying that, it is really shearing itself out to just blend into my skin. The coverage isn't actually too great. It is a very natural coverage so far, like from how much I put on. I think I'm actually going to go in and put another layer just because this area here isn't as covered as I would like it to be. So yeah, it definitely builds up quite nicely. Like, it's building up to a more medium to full coverage. So that's done with the beauty blender and 2 pumps, I would say. It looks really nice and natural, but it is quite a full coverage, but it doesn't look thick. So I'm going to go on to the other side and blend that in with a brush. I'm going to do the same thing, take 1 drop full and just drop that. The dropper is honestly like the funnest thing to use. So again, I'm just going to buff this in with a brush. Oh, whoa. Okay, the coverage is a lot better when using a brush. Like, I almost feel like this is too much, and this is just 1 pump thing. Whereas the beauty blender, I had to use 2 just to get like... Whoa, okay, I definitely prefer using this foundation with a brush for sure. Yeah, there's just something about the way this foundation works with a brush. I feel like it looks a lot smoother, and trust me, this was my worst side. Okay, so the coverage using a brush is definitely a lot better. I only use one pump thing and it's already full coverage, whereas this one, the Beauty Blender, I needed at least like 1.5 pumps to get it looking like this, and honestly, this is definitely a lot better coverage than this. So I guess if you're trying to go for like a more natural-ish face, use a Beauty Blender, but if you want the maximum like full impact of this foundation, brush. It's gonna come a little bit closer so you can see it is a full cover, like medium to full coverage foundation, but it feels really lightweight. Like it doesn't feel heavy or thick or anything like that on my face, which I really like. Maybe because the consistency is so liquidy and it's so thin, the Beauty Blender kind of absorbs too much product, especially when it's damp. That's just my theory, but who really knows? So since I did get the concealer as well, the Rainforest of the Sea Aquacealer, I'm gonna go ahead and use this under my eyes to highlight and conceal. Oh my gosh, I love the applicator. It's a giant doe foot applicator, like fat, stubby. Love it. Take this under my eyes. Oh whoa, it's a bit thicker than I thought it would be. I thought it would be about the same consistency as the foundation, but it's a lot thicker. I may have gone a bit heavy-handed here, but hopefully it blends out nicely. Again, this is the Beauty Blender side, just gonna bounce this in. I feel like I'm definitely gonna like using the Beauty Blender for the concealer a lot better. Like it's already making it look more natural and not too thick, but that's just my personal preference in blending out concealers, is definitely using a Beauty Blender. I don't usually like blending in concealers with a brush, but let's just do it for the sake of experimenting. Yeah, definitely a lot more coverage using the brush, but again, do you really want that much coverage under your eyes? I might actually just blend that out with the Beauty Blender because it's way too intense. Okay, so that's how the foundation and the concealer is looking together. This is really annoying me. Yeah, I feel like the concealer is really good. It conceals really nicely, but it's not too thick or heavy. Like it is a water-based concealer, so it is quite light under your eyes with a pretty decently good amount of coverage. I like it. So I'm just going to set under my eyes really quickly using my new favorite Morphe contour palette, and I'm just grabbing the yellow shade to set. I've been using this palette a lot lately to set my under eyes, and I really like how it finishes. Working really well with this concealer as well. So you can see the difference. Obviously this is set with the powder and this isn't, but when the concealer is set with the powder, it looks really smooth and I really like it. So next I'm just going to set the rest of my face using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm not going to use a foundation powder or anything like that, just because I do want to maintain the foundation and see how it lasts throughout the day. Okay, so this is how the foundation and concealer combo is looking so far. Obviously it looks a bit strange because I don't have the rest of like my eye makeup or face done. This is just the foundation and concealer set with powders. I feel like it is a full coverage foundation, but it's not heavy. Like it still feels really lightweight. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face with like powders, bronzers, and like eyeshadow and see how it looks all together. So I'm gonna go do that and I will see you guys right after that. So it's been about half an hour or so that I was doing my makeup and stuff like that, and the foundation is settled in really nicely. I feel it's looking really nice, not to toot my own horn, but I mean the foundation itself. It hasn't gotten gray or anything like that, which is what I find even when I use a translucent powder. Some foundations kind of set after a few minutes and become gray. This one hasn't yet. It still feels really light on my skin. I could almost get away with feeling like I'm not wearing any foundation except for the fact that I'm wearing a ton. Yeah, what else do I want to say? My bronzer, contour, and like highlight and stuff blended in quite nicely on top of the foundation. Keeping in mind I did set it with a translucent powder, so I wasn't like blending it directly onto the tacky foundation. I think it looks natural-ish. Yeah, even the concealer isn't creasing or anything like that. I didn't bake, just set it with the pressed powder like you guys saw me do earlier, and it isn't creasing. I do usually have problems with my under eye concealer creasing, but maybe after a couple of hours. So I think with this one I'm gonna come back after maybe a few hours and check back with the longevity and the lastingness of these foundations and concealers. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say right now. Yeah, overall first impression, really do like it, and probably one of the best foundations I've had a first impression of. Really like it so far. Praying that it doesn't disappoint after a few hours. Fingers crossed I remember to come back and do an updated thing after a couple of hours. If not, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful. I will probably write in the description box how it lasted after a few hours at the end of the day or something like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful or enjoyable, and I will see you next time.